Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. It is January 1st, 2025. Obviously, we rang in the new year last night with quite a thunderstorm indeed. And yeah, it was pretty impressive, to say the least. Again, I'm still kind of amazed and in awe over how. And I did manage actually to catch some lightning bolts. Let's take a look at some of them here. The ones that I were able to catch on video here. Oh, you know, that one's kind of, look at how that one's just kind of, I know this one's kind of blurry, but you can see how it's snaking through the sky there like that. Nuts. That was actually a cloud to ground strike, I believe. And the rain, that's a nice one right there that I got. And that's a nice one right there. That's a cloud to ground strike right there. And just a heavy rain. Just what a bolt that was. That went right over my head. Just looking at some of the thunderstorms from last night, I actually was looking at some of the earth cams to show you what they looked like and kind of show you this one here. Captured this here, and you'll be able to see some of the lightning that was going on here with this incredible lightning here with these storms last night. Really, you see some really impressive light. Look at that one going right across there on the top. It's just incredible. Really incredible storms. This is kind of a sign of the kind of weather we can expect in 2025, because it's going to be crazier than the last year. Where climate crisis continue to get worse, but nobody seems to really be taking it seriously. They're certainly not taking it seriously enough. You can see here, very impressive. This is from Seaside Heights, this clip you're looking at right here. And really just incredible storm that's going on there. Yeah, it started off the Jersey Shore, and it kind of just really just, the lightning is just absolutely nuts here. You can see the lightning. Just have another clip from. You can see how heavy the rain is coming down. So we're going to talk about the rainfall and all that stuff. Really, just incredible storm. Incredible storm last night. I have another clip here. We're going to play from Port Jefferson. This is Port Jefferson. We'll take this back a little bit over here. Yeah, what did that on me? Hold on, let's get this in here. This is Port Jefferson. I gotta figure out where that. I don't think it hit yet. Yeah, we're starting to hit over here. And there's some spots where there was a lot of action. Yeah, look at that. There's a bolt right there. I mean, yeah. A lot of crawlers across the sky last night. Kind of go across the sky. A lot of that last night. So it was a pretty crazy storm, all in all. Pretty crazy. Yeah. All right, enough on the storms. Let's talk about what today was like. A lot of clouds with some light rain. Tonight, the clouds broke up a little bit. And we had stars and really kind of a dark sky. So the area, it looks like this would have been a nice blue sky had this been the daytime, because you can see it between the clouds. Really nice dark sky here. Another photo of it. Yeah, these were longer exposures. But you can see how fast the clouds are moving because we have a wind advisory in effect. But you got a good look at the stars there. Yeah, very starlit skies tonight. But that wind definitely is blowing. We got a wind advisory in effect right now. So let's look at, you can see where the wind advisory is for pretty much the entire area. State, we've got the lake effect snow warnings posted already, because there's going to be another lake effect event with this cold air coming in. And you see right now the temperatures have dropped to around 41 degrees at Islip now. Finally cooled off in here. It took all day, and the window's wide open. 30 gust to 31 is a gust to 40 over there at the New York Harbor entrance. So yeah, a lot of wind out there, which is why we have the wind advisory. Look at this, a 62 mile an hour wind gust at Stony Brook. Wow, I know that's on top of the hospital, but that's really impressive. So there's a lot of wind out there, and the reason why we're getting all that, if we look at our weather map here, we have a very tight pressure gradient. Look at the surface analysis. You can see there's the low over in the Gulf of Maine. Tight pressure gradient over area. See how tight the isobars are. And if we look at the radar, you'll see here that we have rain that's still ongoing in Boston. So they're dealing with the effects of that low. And it's lingering around. The low is slow to exit. So that's why we've got these winds that are blowing pretty strong right now. The temperatures have dropped from what they were earlier. So if we look at Islip 41, I'm sure our high temperature was probably sometime in the middle of the night. Yeah, we were in the 50s. Actually, we're in the 50s. Let's see. Well, yeah, we actually still managed to get to the 50s this afternoon. 52 degrees. Yep. But didn't really start dropping until we got toward the evening. And then we started cooling off. But you can see these strong wind gusts here and a lot of clouds and even a little bit of light rain in the afternoon as well to deal with. So looking at our, let's take a look and see how much rainfall fell in those storms last night. We'll put this to 24 hours. I mean, we'll do 36 hours here, kind of show you how much rainfall we got. In some areas definitely did get an inch. Central Suffolk, it looks like close to an inch. Pretty much the Route 112 corridor going down. Well, no, this is not this is the Sagatows Parkway corridor. Nassau, 3/4 of an inch. A lot of rain. As you get further out east, it's more like half an inch. But then this area wound up getting a little more here in the north of Riverhead. So it's, again, some areas wound up getting a lot depending on where the city Central Park only got 0.41. And less in Jersey as well. Looking at the highs, obviously the lows are the current temperatures, so I'm not going to bother showing you that. But you can see we got into the 50s today pretty much across the entire area. So once again, starting off 2025 above normal, but it certainly won't be staying that way as we get to deal with the temperatures dropping and Arctic air moving into the picture. Let's look at our satellite. You can see we've got a break in the clouds here, though there's still plenty of clouds off to the west. We've got a cyclonic flow, which leads me to believe we're going to be dealing with more clouds over the next day or so at least. You can see, again, there's that cyclonic flow around that low that we have. And we do have a high pressure that will be eventually building, and you can see the high. It's way up in Canada, though. It's just a little piece of it down here. So that's all going to start coming on down. So let's talk about, before we do that, let's talk about our statistics for the month of December 2024 at Islip. And you'll see here that we had a average maximum high of 44.4. That actually is right on the money for the normal value, 44.4. So our high was right at normal. However, our average minimum of 28.7 puts us a little bit below normal, 1.1 degrees below normal. So that gave us a mean of 36.5, which is 0.6 degrees below normal for the month of December of 2024. And as far as rainfall goes, we got a lot of rain, 6.23 inches. Yeah, December was a wet month. It wasn't your imagination. Normal rainfall is 4.71. And so it's a good inch and a half above normal. Of course, we had a couple of very dry months, so it helps to be above normal with the rainfall. And let's see, we had a lot of days with rain, 15 days with light rain, 5 days with heavy rain. So it wasn't your imagination. We had a lot of rain. And snowfall, it's just showing 0. I thought we did wind up getting a little bit of snow, but I guess it was just considered a trace at Islip. Let's see, snowfall totals, 2.1 inches of snow. So, that's what we had. Normal values, 4.5 inches of snow. Still below normal on the snowfall. But we did get some snowfall at least, so we got some. That's the good news. We'll go and look at Central Park's monthly as well for December 2024, and they were below normal for the temperatures as well, 0.9 degrees below normal on the temperatures, and precipitation total of 4.53, a little bit above normal, and snowfall totals were 2.8 inches. So Actually, hold on a second. That's not for the month. That's since 7-1. Yeah, that's since 7-1, right? 2.8 inches. So, yep, that's about right. So, that's what we had. That's what it looked like at December 24, 2020. They don't have a whole thing for the annual. They don't do an annual report, though. But let's go ahead and look at today's ice slip climate report. A high of 54 and a low of 45 puts us 16 degrees above normal for the day. And since December 1st, we've had, again, 6.23 inches of rain. So above normal for rainfall. So that's what our statistics look like right now. So let's take a look at our observations here, and we'll first of all, let's look at the radar. You already see there's some snow up going on south of Watertown. You're already starting to see the lake effect set up. So you're going to get lake effect here. You're going to get lake effect in parts of Canada as well. Anywhere that's downwind of the lakes basically is going to be dealing with a lot of lake effect snow as we get to deal with this prolonged period of cold weather to start off 2025, because the warmth, gust of 46 at Gilgo right now. No, it's Fair Harbor, a gust of 46. So, yeah, that's very warm, very warm. I mean, that's very strong winds, that's what I'm saying. I mean, panning out here again, you'll see these lake effect snow warnings. That's going to be in effect until Sunday, it looks like, many of these. So things are going to get active upstate. Rest of the country seems fairly quiet for the most part. But now let's go and look at the models. And where are they? Here they are. So that low pulls away. High pressure. You can see the tight pressure gradient stays with us Thursday, which is why we got the wind advisory through Thursday, and then it finally relaxes a little bit on Friday. You can see that big Arctic high that's going to be building down looking into the weekend of next week. And, of course, the question is, right now, too soon to tell. We have this storm system. Right now, the models seem to be suppressing it. This could have been a snow event for us, perhaps. It'll have to be watched. Passing to our south on Monday. But you can see there's a big Arctic high that's going to build down here. And this is a prolonged cold pattern. It's almost like a polar vortex, so to speak. If we go and we look at the polar vortex, which is, I guess, what we should do to show you what's going on. Let's go to the... So here it is. You can see what's going on already. You see how it's shifting toward shifting toward us. So that means we're going to get cold. You can see, and there's a split right there. So, yeah, this is a look. This is a very cold look. So this means we're going to be dealing with an extended period of very cold weather. Probably the likes we haven't seen since, I think, 2017, perhaps. Was it 2017? I think it was 2018 that we had that. So it's been a while since we've had a period like this that we're going to be seeing these extended cold temperatures. And if we look at the temperature anomaly chart, just to show you what's going on here, you'll see the cold weather starts moving in, and it just gets progressively colder as we head throughout the year. You can see there's some really cold outbreaks there. Question is, which way do they actually go? It looks like these are aimed a little more toward the south, but this is a ways out on the GFS. We can look at the European model as well with this and show you, again, the changes that are going to be going on, the general changes that we have with this cold air that's going to be in place for quite some time. So at least for the first 2 weeks of this year that we're going to be dealing with. So get ready for it to turn colder. So let's go take a look at the HRRR, and obviously we won't be dealing with any more precipitation, but you see those tight isobars still over our area tomorrow, which means lots of wind. You can also see the lake effect clouds there. Friday, we'll have a little bit less wind, and then we got to watch a little disturbance, maybe bringing us a little bit of light snow, maybe overnight, Friday night to Saturday morning. This will be our next chance of precipitation. It looks very light right now. And this is only one model here that we're looking at. As far as cloud cover goes tomorrow, I expect let's pick 16Z. That's right around noon. And I expect that there will be a lot. You can see how close those lines are to each other. That's over Long Island. Yeah, they're fairly close. Not quite touching, though. So, but I still think there'll be a decent amount of clouds. Maybe starting off sunnier in the morning, and then more clouds for the instability, cloudiness that we're going to have Um, let's look at our dew points and wind flow, because you can see there's that west wind flow. The dew points continue to drop into tomorrow. And you can see, yeah, that little system is actually going to bring in even colder air for Saturday. That little system you see there. So tomorrow it's going to be a lot colder than today. Tonight we continue to drop into the 30s, and tomorrow we'll probably see highs only in the low 40s probably. And then for tomorrow night we'll be dropping with the wind, no radiational cooling, but we'll be dropping probably into the 20s. And then for Friday, it's going to be even colder. We're going to have highs only in the upper 30s. And then as we move into the weekend, give you a glimpse of what we have here. I'll look at the GFS, but I want to use the 12Z run for this. As we get into the weekend, you'll see what happens to the temperatures. They start getting colder and colder. Here we are, 30s, mid-30s for Saturday. Sunday, mid-30s. And then as we get into the next week, that's when we're going to start getting to the colder stuff where we may not get above freezing at all. As you see, as we get into next week, that's how cold it's going to get. And if we look at the European model, probably going to show it even colder than that. So this is the European. You can already see the Euro is running colder than the GFS for Saturday. But you can see we're going to be below freezing more often than not. You can see that, and then the really cold weather comes in. Look at some of these cold temperatures here that we have. And there could be some really, again, there could be the possibility, too hard to forecast out, but there could always be the possibility of record cold, though. I don't see it right now, but it will be an extended period of below normal temperatures. So, something we haven't seen in a while. Precipitation, here's the European, here's that second system. This is more suppressed than the HRRR. You can see maybe South Jersey would pick up something. And then the second system, this would be the second system, the system that we're watching for Monday on the European. This is the 12Z. And you can see south of the area would make more likely to pick up something. Right now it seems like it's fairly flat and it keeps it moving along. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Cloud cover, that's the other question. Now as we get into, we can actually use the Euro, and these, again, this is not a high resolution model. 18Z Friday. They're fairly close together, again, those two lines. But let's go to the GFS, and we'll look at that for cloud cover. GFS is a little more overly optimistic. All right, this is Friday. It has a lot more clouds. Tomorrow, it has some clouds, too. Not as many. It definitely shows more on Friday. And then Saturday, we may have to deal with that instability, cloudiness, lake effect. It's kind of hard to say that far out what's going to happen. Obviously, we will hopefully get some nice clear days out of this eventually. Though right now, I can only forecast the skies for a couple of days. Let's look at the RGEM. So the 0Z run of the RGEM, we're actually, because we're a little later, we have the 0Z run. So here's the RGEM for tomorrow. And it's only having the clouds over Long Island, actually. It doesn't really have that many developing south of the area. And then for Friday, it has clouds being suppressed, so that mid to high level moisture with that little wave would stay to the south of us and would be mostly sunny on Long Island. That's as far as we got on the RGEM. So whatever the case is, there will be clouds mixing with some sun depending on where you are, but it won't be a completely overcast gray day. Well, there'll be sunshine, but again, the other issue is the winds. So let's take a look at Ventu Sky and talk about the wind gusts that we're dealing with right now. You can see close to 40 right now. As we go into Thursday, you can see here 36 miles an hour, 36, so it's still 4 o'clock in the afternoon, still dealing with these wind gusts. And then I think by 11 o'clock at night, maybe it drops off a little bit. It's not really until Friday that it'll start dropping off to a more manageable level, these winds. And that's because of the pressure gradient that we have set up. So there'll be a lot of wind, obviously. Cloud cover, obviously. It's probably going to be some clouds popping up tomorrow. This is the HRRR model for tomorrow. So I'll just show you this, and you'll see what I mean. Has quite a bit of clouds by noon. You can see a lot of clouds popping up all over the place. So it won't be completely clear. There will be times when there will be clouds around, variable, sun to patchy cloudiness, I would say, for tomorrow, but still breezy and cooler than today. It's probably an average day, but after tomorrow, that's when we start seeing the temperatures drop. So once again, a happy new year, and hopefully I am looking forward to this extended cold stretch. So This will help many, many things. It will help many things. Not only will it be better for me because I do better in the cold, but also better for the pine barrens, perhaps getting the southern pine beetle infestations under control. They well, in 2018 we had that really cold wind spell that actually calmed them down for that summer. It wasn't nearly as bad, so it helps control that. It helps a lot of things. Cold is very important, whether you like it or not. It is part of winter. And the past 2 winters have been non-winters, and we need to get back into having an actual winter this year. Again, it's more often than not we're not going to see winters as often. But when we do get them, it could still be. You can still have strong, severe cold is still a possibility. But the overall picture, of course, is that things are always warmer. Things are always getting warmer. So let's just take a look at the Climate Prediction Center. I almost forgot about this. The 6 to 10 day. I know we normally do this on Sunday. Just show you below normal precipitation in our area. And colder. Look at that big blue area there for the east, especially the southeast. So, a lot of cold weather. Even if you're in Florida, you're going to be dealing with it. With that ridge in the west, you can clearly see where that ridge in the west is right there. This last, we go with the snow and ice data center here and just see if there's any new updates from them. It says sluggish freeze up north. We're still lagging on the ice formation here. Still toward the bottom here, so that's not a good sign. Slow freeze up as we deal with the climate change. Remember, even if it's cold here, when you look at the picture for the whole planet, especially the Arctic, it's warming at a very rapid pace as we continue to deal with out of control climate crisis that nobody, especially in this country, seems to realize is a very important issue for all of us and all creatures on this planet. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a good night.